You know, have you ever really stopped to think about what happens to your medical file after you leave the doctor's office? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the world of medical billing and coding. It's this powerful, kind of hidden engine that keeps our entire healthcare system up and running. Right? Think about it. You go in for a checkup, you get a diagnosis, maybe a prescription, and then you just walk out the door. But for the hospital or the clinic, that's literally just the beginning. A whole chain of events gets set in motion behind the scenes, all to make sure that single visit gets paid for. And that is the secret, pretty fascinating world we're going to explore right now. So imagine your doctor's notes are like this detailed story of your visit, right? Well, medical coders, they're the expert translators. They take that story and turn it into a very specific universal language. It's a language made up entirely of codes, and it tells insurance companies exactly what happened so they know exactly how to pay for it. So, at its core, a medical billing and coding specialist is the absolute critical link in the financial chain of healthcare. They take every single detail of a patient's visit and transform it into a claim that gets the hospital or clinic paid. I mean, without them, the money just stops flowing. It's that important. And this right here is the language they speak, ICD-10 CM codes. You can think of it as the ultimate medical dictionary. For example, a super common diagnosis like strep throat has its own unique code, JO2.0. That precision means that no matter where you are in the country, strep throat means the exact same thing to every single doctor and insurance company. Getting these codes right, it's everything. Okay, so what does a medical coder's day actually look like? What's their mission and where does all this magic happen? Let's take a peek. Now, even though you're deep in the healthcare world, this isn't a job on the chaotic front lines of a hospital. Nope. It's a focused, detail-oriented role, usually in a pretty calm office setting. Your world is a computer, some specialized software, and honestly, the quiet satisfaction of making sure the whole system works like a well-oiled machine. So your day becomes this fascinating mix of investigation and precision. You're part medical detective, poring over patient records to understand the full story. Then you switch hats and become a language expert, translating that story into the precise codes for billing. And on top of all that, you're a crucial communicator, working with doctors and nurses to make sure every single little detail is absolutely perfect. So, what are the superpowers you need to really crush it in this role? Well, it's not just about being a code wizard, believe it or not. It's also about being a great people person. Let's look at the essential skills you'll need. And as you can see, it's a perfect balance. You absolutely need the technical know-how on the left. You've got to be able to navigate the complex world of medical codes and terminology. But you also really need the people skills on the right to work with everyone from patients to surgeons. One really doesn't work without the other. Okay, now here's the really exciting part. You don't need a decade of medical school to do this vital work. It's actually a surprisingly direct and accessible path to a fantastic career in healthcare. Let's break down how you get there. It's a pretty simple three-step process. First, you earn a certificate. And with so many online options now, you can often do it on your own schedule. That's where you'll really master the language of medicine and coding. And then you're ready to launch your career in this really in-demand field. And get this, the whole thing, from the day you start your certificate program to landing your first job, can take as little as 1 year. 1 year! That's an incredibly fast track to a stable, rewarding career in a booming industry. So, you know what the job is, and you know how to get there. But what's really in it for you? Let's talk about the real-world benefits of choosing a career in medical billing and coding. When you put it all together, it's a pretty compelling package. A super fast track into a new career, a stable work-life balance, the flexibility to learn on your own terms, and the deep satisfaction of knowing you're making a real difference every single day. That's really what this career is all about. So while you might never actually meet the patients you're helping, every single code you enter is a small act that keeps the massive wheels of healthcare turning for everyone. It's a career that's both challenging and, deeply rewarding. The only question left is, are you ready to be one of the unsung heroes of the healthcare world?